Hey everyone, today we're going to go over Google Sheets and how to make a simple Gantt chart. I'm going to do my best to explain the best way that I can. Now I'm going to copy in, just to get started, kind of how I do it, which is I want a task, the topic, and the start and end dates. With every Gantt chart we need to have a couple projects, so I'm going to copy and paste that in. And I'm just going to color in this top part because we're not going to mess around with it. Now you can add whatever you want, but for now this is what we have. So what's only important, at least for my Gantt chart, is the start and the end date. So saying that, we need to put in our dates. I'm going to go to E to K, and I'm going to merge those cells together. And I'm going to use December 4, 2022. And I'm just backtracking because it's just easy for demonstration purposes. And once I have that there, I want to make the whole document, or at least this column size, smaller. So I can click on the first column, hold down Control, Shift, or Command Shift, hit the right arrow, selecting all the columns, right-clicking, then resizing it to a pixel of 30 width. And boom, now they're smaller. You're like, why would I do that? Well, let me show you in a little bit. To get the other dates, what I can do is I can copy this, and then I can erase that, put in equals, select December 4, which automatically gives me E1, and then add 7 for the next date. And I can drag and drop this to the end of the document. I have an extra column here, so I'm just going to delete it for the purposes of what we're working with. Now I also want the date in terms of the day itself and also the abbreviation. So I'm going to start with the first one. So I'm going to do equals E1, and then the following one I'm going to do equals E2 plus 1 because I want to go to the next day. I'm going to drag that all the way across because it's going in chronological order. And then what I can do is I can copy and paste that below. For the first one, I'm going to highlight the whole thing and change the formatting to custom date and time. I'm going to select the day, or I can select this day. I'm going to use this one. That changes the first one. Then I'm going to go on the bottom and do custom date formatting there, and I can do custom date and time, and I'm going to change that to the day, and I have it abbreviated here as well. Boom. Don't forget to center both of them. And now I have each day. And I can add different colors here to separate them, to make them easier to look at, blah, 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 whatever you like, right? It's yours to customize. Now, I want to have the Gantt chart color in these little squares for the dates. So I have to go to Format, and I go to Conditional Formatting. I'm going to apply it to the range where I want it to start, not at E4, but E5. So I'm going to go to E5 and to the end column, which is Y, and I'm going to put 1,000. Possibly 1,000 task, or somewhere in the bottom, so it doesn't get in the way. I'm going to change the color to blue here so you can see it when it gets colored. And I'm going to select a custom formula. I'll explain it after I type it in. Basically, this formula has two conditions. The first condition is going to start at E, and then it's going to compare itself whether the date is either the same or it's greater than the start date. And the second one, as I'm typing and talking at the same time, is going to be less than that date for the end date. I'm going to close the parentheses, and what I should see is exactly that. So to re-talk about this parameter here, to re-explain it, basically it's going to take this square, then compare it to the date at the top, then going to take that number, compare it to the start date. So for 9, it's definitely the same date, so it will color it in. But I don't want to color all the way 12, 13, 14, 15. So I write a second condition saying that it has to be less than 1211. So 1212 is definitely not less than 1211 in terms of dates. Now that is it. There's a couple more steps that I like to add, and you don't have to. So let's say I want to make it kind of a to-do list. So I want to say I've worked on this project today, and I want to add in a check mark. So what I could do for fun is I'll click on this box here. Make sure you're not clicking on the top one. I'm clicking in this box. I'm going to insert, go to image, insert the image in the cell, and go to a link. I've already brought something up on Google, so I can right click this and open a new tab. And once I have that, I can copy the image address, go back, and boom, insert this image. So every time I do work on something, I can put check mark, check mark. And what's really nice about this is if you connect the formulas, for example, this one is going to D5, and this one takes a lot longer. What I could do is I can extend the date, right? And if they're all connected properly, it will extend my Gantt chart. And so now I have more days to work on it. And I can put X's in here to say that I messed up or I didn't do adequate work to see if, I'm falling behind on my schedule. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that simple tutorial on a Gantt chart, and check out my other videos. Take care. Bye.